Das würde mich ja mal interessieren. Und zwar Amsterdam Vintage Watches sind quasi Kollegen, die mehr auf Vintage-Uhren spezialisiert sind. Und Jasper zeigt seine Uhrenkollektion. Er ist schon auch länger mit dabei, ne? Ist im Vintage-Bereich sehr bekannt. Und Swiss Watch Gang hat ihn besucht. Da gucken wir mal nach. Wow. Alter, was hat er denn da für Big Pieces?
So I have no idea about vintage watches. We could say it like this. The channel isn't known for vintage watches. So I think it's cool and refreshing to talk to somebody. So I'm happy to see what's in the box. We did a video on your channel with my watches with a similar concept. So today you want to return the favor and shock me with some Rolex watches I have no idea about. So
I'll keep wearing my AP that has a rope.
Kranke Uhr. Heftige Uhr. Super. Also, das ist jetzt keine Uhr, die Leute, wo die Leute jetzt sagen würden, oh, tolle Uhr, also im Sinne von kommerziell erfolgreiche Uhr, gefällt mir so, die Komplikation, ewiger Kalender mit Worldtimer unten auf 6 Uhr, heftige Uhr. Ich wette, diese Uhr kann man für einen mega Schnapper am Markt kaufen.
Full-time function combined with a perpetual calendar in platinum, very fairly priced, if I may say so. Like, for the value, you're getting a lot of bang. Watches you buy in this price range at 25.000 Euros.
25.000 Euro. Zum Beispiel, ich würde niemals so nach dem Geschmack, wenn ich für mich selber kaufen würde. 25.000 Euro nehme ich.
Let's start off with
I'm not gonna watch.
a watch that has one of my favorite anecdotes connected to it.
Oh, the 1654.
Leave the references to me, bro. It's nothing spectacular in regards to the history or the configuration or originality or whatever or condition. 4 years ago, we got set up in Argentina, a friend of mine and I, and there was like this motor gang from Venezuela. Yeah. It pulled up on us with guns. 4 or 5 guns taken to my head and to my friend's head, and they came for my watch, which was this watch, but it was inside information, so somebody tipped them off, probably the hotel staff. So I lost the watch, and after they left, my friend was so terrified and traumatized that he started crying a lot, and I was a little bit, I don't want to sound cool, like, oh, I didn't care, but I brushed it off, because nothing happened to us. In the end, we only lost the watch, but he felt so sorry for me. Now, fast forward 3 or 4 years, and I got the watch back, because I listed it as stolen, like online on my website. Somebody found it in New York. I got the watch back, and I'm going to engrave it next week, cry no more, and give it to my friend.
Nice.
So just as a keepsake of a terrible tragedy that in the end turned into a funny anecdote for this watch.
Yeah, but thank God, like people, you know, it's probably not a nice experience. Like,
habt ihr gehört? Er hat es in Venezuela, haben sie ihn bestohlen und er hat sie in New York wiederbekommen, dann nach Amsterdam.
2 watches on a leather strap. Let's add a third one. I like the dressy, classy feel of a Cartier on a leather strap. It just brings out the watch better, oftentimes, not always. There are exceptions, but especially to a gentleman's piece like the Cartier Tank Cintré. Also engraved, by the way. So this watch dating back to the 70s, which you can see by the octagonal crown. So the watches cannot be dated by the serial numbers, not per se, on these older watches. So it depends. They made the watch from the 1920s onwards.
Das ist ja die Uhren, ne, das ist, da, guck mal, die Uhren können einfach zerkratzt sein. Bei mir, mit meinen Kunden, wenn ein Kratzer drauf ist, die Leute kaufen es nicht.
Even now, the Cintré is usually
auch wenn die Uhr
reserved
30
for
Jahre
special
alt
occasions, for example, the CP stuff. But this is from the 70s, very, very clean condition. It's a watch that I rarely wear due to the size because it's too thick and too big for me. In my honest opinion, it's 9 linea, so that's the biggest size. They also have 8 and 7 linea. When I will find an 8 linea, I will put that in my private collection. I'll sell this one. Whilst the Tank Cintré is a collectible piece that has a small niche of collectors, including John Goldberger, Auro Montanari, who has an amazing video about those two. What do you want to do now? So it's not only a world time or Cancem Perpetual, but it's a perpetual calendar. It is. But then with a split second chronograph, the Rattrapante 5004, made in platinum with a black dial. Pretty impressive piece. They made, I think they started in 1996 and they discontinued in 2012, but they only made like 12 a year. It has a Lemania Eibausch and it's not really made to house, let's say, the Rattrapante complication. So it was a technical marvel that Patek was able to pull it off, but it took quite some time.
This is so nice. So if somebody likes this watch,
big boy
what's the entry-level price point of these nowadays?
5004 in yellow gold are the least valuable. It starts at $250,000 approximately. But I would also definitely suggest you check out the 3970 first. So that is the watch that got me into the perpetual calendars with chronograph function. It's a lot of bang for your buck. You can pick those up like a yellow gold one for 120. In aesthetics, it's pretty similar. Obviously, it has only one chronograph hand, and it doesn't have this huge crown because the crown also houses the case for the chronograph. And at first, I preferred the 3970. I had one in my collection for a long while, but then I fell in love with the crown, which I, funnily enough, disliked in the first place. I was like, that's just too bulky proportion-wise. It doesn't add up. But now I really love it.
It's like a lange height almost, no?
Yeah, 10 times better.
10 times better.
On the opposite side of the spectrum, we found the sporty tool watches by Patek Philippe. Most people also refer to the Nautilus oftentimes. But of course, we have the Aquanaut too, which is definitely a cult classic with the rubber bracelet. But this is a spectacular piece, and I wonder if you know why it's so uncommon.
Of course. This is a reference number.
Yeah,
made between 82 and 84. The only one on the rubber strap with the red dial.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You have it.
But
so it's a plum dial.
Looks super nice. Huh?
Yeah. So it's the old 5065.
Yeah, 5065.
Yeah, it was on the tip of your tongue.
Yes, just about to say.
Yeah. So it's the old one that really has all the vintage features that I love. For example, the straight end links and the embossed like grenade pattern on the dial is way deeper. Cool. But most importantly, it's a plum dial or prune dial. And that was a order by a North American client who ordered this one and next to a blue one and a green one, all unique with consecutive serials.
So this is a piece unique essentially.
Well, I wouldn't say piece unique because it doesn't say piece unique, but this is the only one that's known to the market. But it is possible that in 4 years time or 5 years time, somebody will see another one. And then I'm that idiot that called it as piece unique and it's not. But this is the only one that ever reached the market.
So for now it's a piece unique.
Well, he said it though. He said it. So on the Paul Newman, I chose this watch to show.
I like this.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit more flair to it with the so-called exotic dial. 6239, a very early one for Paul Newman in the serial range of 1967, so it still has like 300 bezels. Well, I have another Paul Newman here. It's not in my collection, but I just wish to show you. This is a later one. You see the bezel layout being different. Units per hour is over here instead of at the 1 o'clock marker.
Yeah.
So this is the early one. And this I like more because it's tricolore, so it's with the red in the minute track. Yeah. And this one only has red on the Daytona script, so I prefer this one.
Rookie mistake, this is much better.
Oh, you're a true connoisseur.
So if you want one, this is the one to get. If you have this one, this ain't it, you know?
This is amateur hour. This is the T-Swiss large dial.
It even has like a crown mark on the glass. That's how you know it's a real one. Huh?
No, it doesn't. Be careful what you say. I know it's a joke, but people will see it. And then
again, if you want to know about vintage watches, definitely don't come to me.
6542.
I have this one. This is
the modern one.
Yeah.
Well, you told me you feel like a douche when you wear that.
I feel like a douche wearing it, yes.
If you wear this watch, you won't feel like a douche.
Yes.
You feel like a sophisticated douche.
A douche with more money. So this is a backlight dial, guys.
Backlight bezel, exactly.
A bezel.
But that's very important because the bezel alone is, let's say, a big part of the originality of the watch because it's the only watch with a backlight bezel with radium inside. So the watch is radioactive as fuck.
Yeah.
So this is as well a pristine condition.
What year is it?
1958.
50, so 4 years after the launch of the
1958.
Well, there you go, my friend. But why is your Wikipedia open here?
I'm like Googling that.
No, that's actually correct. And they made it with like radium dials or with luminous material, strontium 19 or
very good condition. Huh? I'm not joking. I mean it. It looks immaculate. Good job on the repolishing.
Thank you. I did it myself. Thank you. We're done with the tool watches because I showed you a couple tool watches of Rolex, which I very much adore. But I have one passion. And that is more in towards, let's say, the luxurious watches that were meant to be luxurious, and that's
Hublot.
Hublot, exactly. So the last 3 watches are Hublots. The fun thing about collecting day dates specifically is because there are so many configurations that are totally different. Let's say with the Paul Newman, of course, you have different dials, but the differences are minor. Yeah. With day dates, you have different bracelets. You have different finishes, different bezels, different dials, different diamond settings, different hands, different crowns. Everything can be changed because it's the flagship model. So it was one of the most expensive models always. And since I'm a gemologist, so I studied gemology, I can combine my passion of watches and gemstones in the stone dial line. So this...
Oh, this I know.
Yeah, this dial is called a Jasper dial, and I shit you not. Yeah. So it's a dark green dial, the color of Rolex. Jasper is a beautiful gemstone, and when it has...
Of course it is.
I didn't even come up with a name. It's just the scientific name of it.
I thought it was oxblood at the beginning. It's
no, bloodstone. So that's a variety of Jasper, Chalcedony, where it has like these red inclusions, as you can see. Yeah. When it does have these red inclusions, it's called a bloodstone. And this is housed in an 1802 8 case that has the smooth bezel and it has riveted oyster bracelet. So it doesn't look anything like your regular dated with a fluted bezel and a president bracelet, which I like because it's something odd.
And this looks more normal, let's say, without all the fluting.
Yeah. And it would look cool with your jacket, for example.
For sure.
Green on green.
Heftig, ja.
Finally some style.
Perfect, yeah. I like this style.
I have here in Arabic.
Understatement.
Oh, I like those even more.
No, but this is next level stuff.
Is it iced out?
No diamonds here. I like gemstones, obviously.
If they're factory set.
If they're factory set.
Or set by you.
Or set, sure. So this is a watch that has many aspects to it, why it's very special. I'm wondering if you can name them all.
I mean, the bracelet, also the dial, the applied Hindu-Arabic numerals, and the date is in Arabic. Yeah. And the hands are different as well.
Yeah, so earlier hands, it's 1961, 1962, so it has a different shape, like leaf hands. The dial itself, like the base plate, has a pattern to it, which is a guilloche pattern that gives a very cool feeling, very dynamic in the lighting. That also is emphasized by the center link of the bracelet that also has like the stripes.
Yeah, it's a continuous design.
As far as I know, it's a unique bracelet. The watch is featured in the book of Pucci Papaleo, the dated book. It has the Eastern Arabic numerals applied to it. It's in pink gold, which is also special. So it's in total, it's a pretty special package.
Oh, this is cool. This is very nice. And you always have some cool day dates available. I've seen upstairs some, not marble, but Howlite dials. Yeah. Some gem set dials.
Yeah, correct. So
bei uns würden die Leute fragen, ob die Uhr LC100 ist. Ja. Die Leute fragen LCN 100 und mit Originalrechnung.
And obviously Onyx it's beautiful because the jet black dial, just you lose yourself, you lose your thoughts in it.
But you can feel the heaviness of the case.
Obviously
nice.
the white gold is way heavier than the steel one. But the ones on yellow gold we've had numerous of times. They trade around, let's say, between 30 and 40. White gold, yeah, it's 250k-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the value of the watch. Again, it's not for sale, this one. But yeah, it's pretty uncommon to see them in white gold. White metal stone dials are spectacular. Listen, what do you like the most and why? And what do you dislike the most and why?
So out of these watches here, I kinda dislike the look of this. Although it's super cool, I'm not a fan of the bracelet with the watch. I like the dial though, I like the dial. What I like the most maybe is this Patek.
Yeah, I thought so.
The reference number 5004 in platinum because it has a diamond at 6 o'clock.
That's true.
So yeah, this is probably one of my favorites. Also, this is nice, the white gold Datejust, because it's all like understated kind
right?
of.
Yeah, it looks like a 5K watch to most of the people. Exactly. If you go outside, ask people like, what's the value?
Nobody's gonna rob you, you know? Yeah. That's a good thing with this watch.
Nicht schlecht, muss man sagen. Also Swiss Watch Game macht immer sehr gute Videos. Lasst gerne ein Abo da. Er steckt extrem viel Liebe rein. Das muss man natürlich unterstützen.